Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. I am so pumped up because I just went fishing with two expert crappie anglers and pros really to talk about. So Shannon and Shaun. So let's just get right to it. Tell them who you are and where you're from.
My name's Shaun McAbee. I'm from Anderson, South Carolina.
And?
I'm Shannon Suttle. I'm from Ballstick, North Carolina.
And so why do you guys finish each other's sentence? Because you are crappie team pro? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, I mean, we always got each other's back for sure, man.
I think we fish very well together. We know what the other one's thinking without even saying it pretty well. It's like a well-oiled machine.
There you go. We'll get to the team part of it just right away because being a successful crappie fishing team, what does it take? Who's the lead? Do you have a leader on your boat? And if you do, is there going to be a fight? Because we're ready for it.
There ain't gonna never be no fight. I generally do most of our practicing, if that means anything.
Okay.
And I do pretty much all the boat running as far as trolling motor, live scope. I dedicate myself to that 8-hour period we fishing is mine. I mean, right. I don't move. I stay on that trolling motor. Shannon does all the fish weighing, culling. I just stay up there on that trolling motor looking for the next victim.
Right. And talk a little bit about your part of this team right here and how what you're doing makes it a successful team.
Well, in crappie fishing tournaments, all the fish have to be alive. So hot days of summer, that is a task. You have to keep the fish cool.
Right.
If you catch a deep fish, they've got to be fizzed. They need to keep weights on them to keep them upright in the live well. You need to make sure the live well ain't emptied out while you run down the lake.
Right.
It's a process in keeping the right fish. Make sure you don't throw the wrong one in and cost yourself a big tournament. I mean, it can happen. People have done it, throw the wrong fish or took too many fish in. Some tournaments you can only take 7 fish to the weigh in, and some people took 8 and lost out on a Ranger boat. So, I mean, it happens. It's a task.
And what other things that you do as he's running the trolling motor and fishing, what else do you do?
I make sure we got what we need up front. I get the net ready. Like when we pull up to a spot, I go ahead and put the trolling motor down as he's on the seat so we can be ready. He gets up there, gets the trolling motor. I've got the net. I've got our rods ready. We're ready to go. As soon as he gets up there from the seat from driving, like I said, if he needs something out of the back, because like I said, that boat control is critical when you're crappie fishing. Somebody needs to be on that trolling motor looking. You've got a certain amount of time to catch fish. He needs to be scanning and looking, like I said, for the next victim. So,
all right. Do you ever, like he says, like you're using artificial, like a slider bait, and you ever just give him the wrong bait on purpose just to kind of egg him on?
Nah.
How about when you're practicing? Do you ever jack with him when you're practicing?
Yeah, I like to. We like to.
Because he's looking forward at the scope. You can do anything you want. Yeah, anything.
We like to cut up and have a good time. When we're practicing, I always say the fish will be out there 40 or 50 foot. Shaun will try to wait till he gets in 30. Well, my first instinct is when we're practicing, I'm going to cast out there further than he does just to see if I can get the fish first. But it's all fun then. We're just out there having a good time. And we have a good time during the tournament. We cut up and have a good time. So
it's kind of good to do that and kind of break the tension a little bit.
Break the monotony of the day. I mean, it's fun. That's the reason we do this. It ain't a job for us. We enjoy it. We love it. We're out there to get better. I mean, we want to have a good time with it. When it stops being fun, me and him will stop doing it. So.
All right. So you're both from North Carolina, right?
I'm from South Carolina.
That's right. Ooh, border.
That's right.
This could get ugly here, but who's got the better football team?
I don't know. I don't watch TV.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
he's thinking.
I'm gonna say probably
Georgia in the
probably North Carolina this year. Probably I would say.
I think he wins. Tell us, how'd you get together? I mean, so you're in 2 different states. I mean, so how does this? I mean, how you end up fishing together as a team when you got distance between you?
Funny thing was, I was at the house. Me and my wife was getting ready to have our first baby.
Right.
And I got a message on Facebook from Shaun. He said, "Hey man, holler at me sometime. Like to fish together." I said, hey, man, here's my number. Call me. We had a Crappie USA tournament coming up. I didn't have a partner at the time.
Right.
He called, and, I mean, it was just like when we started talking on the phone, it's like we've been friends forever. I mean, we fished that first tournament together, and we come in second in that tournament. And I mean, it's just we fish very well together. I mean, there's nothing that the other one ain't thinking. Like, if we're not catching fish, he'll say, hey, you think? I'm like, yeah, let's go to that spot. I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, and that's what you need in a tournament partner. You don't need somebody you've got to argue with or try to convince. You need somebody thinking on the same aspect, I think. And I think that's the reason we've been successful fishing. I mean, we're diversified. We're not just going to do the same thing every time. Like, if he's practicing and he's live scoping and I'm trolling,
right, and
I catch better weight trolling, then he catch a live scoping. I got to say, hey, man, I caught this weight. He said, well, we're going to troll today. And that's what we'll do. You know, it's not an argument or nothing like that. So it's a good time. So
how do you know whose boat you're going to use in the tournament? We fished out of your boat today.
Well, Shannon's in the shop, so that's kind of.
Well,
But most time we do fish out of his.
Oh, all right. Is his bigger, or
it is.
Does he have bigger units?
It is.
Sounds kind of personal, but.
And he does have a 16-inch live scope unit.
Oh, all right. Is it an 86 version?
It is.
Yeah.
86-16.
Yep.
But everything else is pretty much the same. They both set up about the same way both boats
right.
are.
Yep.
In the front, does your boat have a hand control?
Yes.
Extra?
Yeah, we have a sniper marine pole up front on ours. We have one transducer on the trolling motor and one on the pole.
All right. Tell us a little bit about that sniper pole. So if the people aren't watching, explain to us what it looks like.
It's the sniper marine pole it's a very well built pole. It's a lot of metal. It's got good gears in it. The boys are out of Tennessee who made it. They took pride in when they made it. And what I like about the sniper pole is you don't have to reach all the way out on the boat and turn the pole around. It's got a little hand knob that you can just twist. And like I said, you're not trying to reach out, look for a brush pile over here. You can just kind of twist it and really dial it in when you're sitting there.
So the dog that was barking was Bandit.
Yeah.
Bandit, if you're going to get in this, you're going to have to get in it right now. Let's see you. Anyway, of course, if you're listening to this on the podcast show, you can't see it, but Bandit is what kind of dog?
A Boykin Spaniel.
Wow. And what is that? That's the state dog, right?
South Carolina state dog, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? So that was is it cheating to take your dog with you in a crappie tournament because they can smell the fish?
No.
Does he point it out to you? You ever have like the live scope that's showing fish, or your dog showing a different area, and you go to where the dog was?
He goes on points when the drag goes off, and then he goes on point. He's waiting for him to get the boat then.
What do you think it is to be successful crappie fishermen? And we should probably address that. Here, you guys say that they're crappie, and where I'm from, we call them crappie. So it's the same fish. We're just pronouncing it a little bit different.
You got to love the sport of crappie fishing for sure. But you got to dedicate yourself 100% to it. I mean, if you're going to crappie fish, that's what it takes.
And a tip that you could give them for someone that doesn't have an opportunity to go as much or have as much experience. Do you think it's line size or lures, or what would you say?
Depending on what time of year. I mean, warmer water, summertime, early fall. I mean, small diameter line, small jig head, small baits. Fish are real lethargic.
Okay.
And, I mean, you gotta hand feed them a bait to get them to eat it most of the time.
All right.
So downsizing is the biggest thing with any part of it. The line, the jig head, the bait, the whole nine. Every bit of that is a major factor in getting them fish to react and bite.
Okay. And what would you say for a tip for them?
I like Shaun said, and I like to fish a lot of live bait, and people don't realize, like Shaun said, size matters, but we fish a lot of live shad. We catch shad in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We go out and we'll get out early and catch some shad, and that thing will eat a shad the size of your index finger. He'll eat.
Wow. That's a pretty good size.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. But like I said, just trying something different. Don't be scared to think outside the box on these fish. Like Shaun said, they're smart. And they'll know when you're fishing them, but don't be scared to try something new. You know, like if you're out there fishing with a bait and they quit biting, change a bait. Don't just say, well, they just quit biting. No, it might be the bait that you were fishing with. It might be a different color. Like he said, downsize. Usually downsizing is the key when the fish quit biting.
Okay, let's talk about equipment. What are you using for a rod, reel, line usually? So
I got my personal preference. I use a 8-foot Catch the Fever casting rod and a 10-foot jigging rod by Catch the Fever. 4-pound slime line. If I'm fishing structure most of the time, open water fishing, most of the time I use 6.
6-foot pole?
Well, 6-pound line.
Uh-huh.
You have a lot of fish follow during open water, and they'll hit it right up under the boat, and you'll have a short strike, and you're pretty much dead sticking them right up under the boat.
Okay.
That impact of that 4-pound line, a lot of times it'll break it, and it's hard to, especially when you got a big one, you sitting there watching follow. It's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow when you hear that line pop and you done snap him off. So.
And so slime line is it a braid or
it's
fluorocarbon?
It's mono. Yeah.
It's mono.
And
is there a color to it or is it clear? What are you using?
You can get a couple different colors.
The green is normally what we use.
And why are you using the green?
It's just perfect.
Can you see it better?
I can't, but I think it kind of hides in the water a lot better from the fish than a lot of other colors do, maybe. I know you can tell a big difference when you go from 4 to 6 as far as catching fish wise. Oh yeah,
on line.
Oh yeah.
And
especially in clear water. I mean, in dingy water lakes, I don't think line size makes a big difference. But in these clear water lakes that we're having to fish, line size makes a difference.
Yeah, we're at Santee Cooper. Would you say that water's clear here?
I'd say semi-clear.
Semi-clear.
I mean, there's a lot clear. You go up there at Hartwell, it's clear. You go up there in them lakes in Tennessee now, you want to talk about clear. Now, they're clear.
Yeah.
You can send down 15 foot or so in them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you use the same rods as your teammate, or do you use a longer rod?
I like the 10-footer, and I think it's what you get comfortable with.
Okay.
I fish with 8-footer some, but I have just got so used to fishing with that 10-footer, it really becomes a part of you. You know what the fish bite feels on it. It feels different on the 10-footer versus the 8-footer. Don't you think, Shaun?
Mm-hmm.
The way it loads up a rod. I like just a little bit, I wouldn't say softer rod than Shaun, but I like something where the tip just kind of barely loads up. And where I fish more live bait than Shaun does, that's what you want. You want that rod just to load up where where the fish really doesn't know he's got it until I'm ready to kind of hook him. And you don't want to, with live bait, you don't want to you're not trying to cross his eyes when you hook him. You're just trying to kind of ease up, get some good tension, and get that hook in his mouth.
Okay, I got to know what's your favorite slider lure because I see slider on there. Is there one? Because I drove through Tennessee to get here, so is there a size?
Well, you know, trolling wise, we like the 2-inch bait. You know, if we brush fishing, structure fishing, having a downsize, you know, the 1-inch slider.
Right.
Natural color bait most of the time is what we, you know.
Okay.
Pearl color.
Stardust. We like Stardust.
Stardust is a good color trolling wise.
Yeah, it's won some money for us now.
We won a super event down here for slider on slider jigs on that same color.
Yeah.
What tournaments have you won? What's your favorite lake to fish on? I guess your favorite lake to fish on is going to be the tournament where you won a tournament, right?
I don't necessarily say that. We like a challenge, one we haven't won, you know. I mean, we love Santee. I mean, we've won several events down here, and we've come in second on a couple, and but we fished all over the United States. I mean, we ain't been out to California and them out that way, but I mean, we like to try to diversify, but I say one that's got us, and we ain't won yet. And I mean, Shaun's won a couple little things on it. It's probably Clark Hill. We ain't won a big one on Clark Hill yet, and that's one I'd really like to win a big one on. We've been on the right fish, and like he said, just mishaps and stuff like that. But every day ain't gonna be a good day, but it's all good days when you're fishing. So
there you go. That takes us to Tackle Time. Tackle Time is sponsored by PICO Lures. PICO Lures has a complete line of hard and soft baits. You can catch crappie on them. Everything that swims at Santee Cooper, you can catch them on PICO Lures because this place is packed full of fish. There's no doubt about it. If they want to find out more about you, where would they go? What Facebook page? What kind of social media?
So I have my social media for Facebook is my name, Shaun McAbee, which is ShaunMcabee. And my TikTok is the same. It's Shaun McAbee. It's ShaunMcAbee0621 is my TikTok.
And does Bandit have its own TikTok?
No, Bandit's on my TikTok.
Okay, Bandit's on yours. He just got
me. Yeah.
All right. And
you can find me on Facebook at Shannon Suttle, and that's SHANNON Suttle SUTTLE. And you can also find me on TikTok at SSuttle7.
There you go. There you have it. Like I always like to end the show, make sure you keep your hook sharp, your lures in the water.